If you enjoy stories that stay in your soul and make you question what's real, hit that like and subscribe button because this chapter is not one you'll forget. My name was Isaac. And I say was because the person I used to be bled out under the trees 5 years ago, he died, and something else walked out of the woods wearing his skin. We lived at the edge of Black Hollow, my twin brother and I, Eli and Isaac. Inseparable since the womb, two halves of the same soul. Also, our mother used to say, we shared everything. Clothes, secrets, even the shape of our faces. People couldn't tell us apart. And most of the time, we liked it that way. Black Hollow was our kingdom. A sprawling, ancient forest that pressed against our backyard like a living, breathing creature. We spent our childhood mapping its trails, climbing its oldest oaks, and daring each other to venture deeper than we were supposed to. The woods were ours until they weren't. When the woods started whispering, Eli heard them first. It began subtly. He'd stop mid-sentence. During our walks, tilting his head, as if listening to a conversation I couldn't hear. At first, I thought he was messing with me, trying to spook me like we did when we were kids. What is it? I'd ask, and he'd just shake his head, a strange, distant look in his eyes. The trees, he said one afternoon, his voice barely a murmur. They're talking. I laughed, punching his shoulder playfully. Yeah, right. What are they saying, huh? That you're going crazy? He didn't laugh back. They're telling me secrets, he insisted, his gaze fixed on the dense canopy above us. They know things, Isaac. They know how the birds watch us, how the roots remember everyone who's ever walked here. They say something beneath the soil has been waiting for a long, long time. And it's starting to get hungry. That was the first time I felt a genuine chill crawl up my spine. A cold that had nothing to do with the autumn air. I dismissed it as one of his morbid phases. Eli's imagination got darker. Then, he stopped sleeping. I'd wake up in the middle of the night and see him standing by the window, staring out at the tree line. Motionless, he just stood there for hours, a silhouette against the moonlight. Then, he stopped eating. Our mother would plead with him, cooking his favorite meals, but he'd just push the food around his plate. His eyes vacant. He lost weight so fast his clothes hung off him like a scarecrow's. The worst part was his eyes. They became hollow, sunken into his skull. And when he looked at me, it wasn't with the familiar warmth of my brother. It was like he was looking through me. Or worse, like he saw something crawling just under my skin. It's inside you, too, he'd whisper sometimes, his voice raspy. It's just not awake yet. I tried to get him help. I told our parents he was sick, that he needed a doctor, but they were lost, convinced it was just a rebellious teenage phase. They just didn't see what I saw. They didn't hear the things he said when we were alone. Then the animals started showing up on our porch. It began with a crow. Its neck snapped, laid perfectly in the center of the doormat. Then a squirrel, its body splayed open. Then a fox, headless. They were always arranged in a specific way, almost like altars. Our parents were horrified, calling the police, who found nothing. But I knew. Or I thought I knew. I cornered Eli in our room, the stench of decay still clinging to the front door. This is you, isn't it? This has to stop, I screamed, shaking him by his bony shoulders. He didn't flinch. He just looked at me with those dead eyes and swore it wasn't him. The woods are giving us gifts, Isaac, he said calmly. They're trying to feed us. He never seemed shocked by the gruesome finds. He looked ready. The breaking point came on a frigid November night. The first frost had settled, turning the world a ghostly white. I woke up around 2 in the morning to an empty bed beside me. Eli was gone. A primal fear seized me. I threw on a jacket and raced outside. There he was, a dark figure moving away from the house, heading directly into the woods. I followed him, no flashlight, whose the bone-white light of the full moon filtering through the bare branches. He was walking in his bare feet, completely silent on the frosted ground. He moved with a strange, unnatural grace. Not like he was walking, but like something was pulling him forward on invisible strings. The cold was biting, but I didn't feel it. Adrenaline and terror were afire in my veins. He led me deeper than we'd ever gone before, to a part of the woods that always felt wrong. The trees here were different twisted, ancient things with bark like scarred skin. We reached a clearing, a perfect circle of Muscovite stones where nothing grew. And in that clearing, I swear, the ground breathed. I felt it through the soles of my boots. A slow, deep, rhythmic inhale and exhale. The air grew heavy, thick with the smell of damp earth and something else. Something metallic and sweet. That's when Eli stopped. He turned to face me, and for the first time in weeks, he smiled. It wasn't his smile. It was a wide, predatory grin that didn't reach his hollow eyes. His voice was no longer his own. It was a layered whisper, a chorus of rustling leaves and cracking branches. "It's awake," he whispered, "and it's hungry, but it has rules. One of us has to stay, Isaac." The breathing of the ground grew louder, a deep, guttural rumble. The trees seemed to lean in, their branches like skeletal fingers. I looked at my brother, this thing where in my brother's face saw the abyss staring back at me. All I could think was, asterisk, not me. It can't be me. I don't know if it was me or the woods. I don't know if I acted on my own, or if something ancient and powerful pushed my hands for me. But I pushed him. Hard. He stumbled backward, his eyes widening in a brief moment of what looked like genuine surprise, a flicker of the real Eli. He tripped over one of the stones and fell. His head hit the rocks with a sickening crack. And then ... The ground opened. It was calm, almost like it was planned. The moss and soil just parted, like a mouth opening. It took him. It swallowed him whole, pulling him down into the earth as if he were nothing more than a morsel. There was no blood left behind, not a single drop. The ground sealed itself shut, and the clearing was silent once more, and the whispering stopped. For 5 years, there was silence. I told everyone Eli ran away. I lied to my parents, to the police, to myself. I became an only child. I finished high school. I tried to build a life on top of the grave I had made. The hole he left was a phantom limb, an ache that never truly went away. But the woods were quiet. I thought the trade was complete. It's back, and it's way louder now. It started a few weeks ago, a faint whisper on the wind when I take out the trash. The feeling of being watched from the tree line. I haven't slept in 3 days. Every time I drift off, I hear a voice, his voice. Eli's voice calling my name from the forest. Something knocks on my window at night. A light, rhythmic tapping. Tap. 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 I look, but nothing's there. But sometimes, in the moonlight, I see his face in the gnarled bark of the trees. His eyes, hollow and hungry. I think the woods are hungry again. I think the thing beneath the soil has digested its meal and wants another. But this time the whispers are different. They aren't asking for a trade. They're giving me instructions. I think this time, it wants me to bring more. If you want to hear the next confession in, if the woods let me survive long enough to tell it, like and subscribe. I'll keep the door unlocked.